What mommy doesn't know can't hurt her. Hey, we got exactly kind of what we asked for a little bit.
You've been protected long enough. I'm also not gonna cook you. I'm gonna bury you. Just like I buried everyone else. They've been saying for years that John Cena buries talent. I don't bury talent. I am talent. I bury mediocrity. I don't give a rat's ass about your list or your failures. You have manipulated your way to the top of this business, and your ego outmatches your ability. All you have done here is ride the coattails of my success. I have been so great that the WWE can hand the heartbeat of this organization to my chauffeur. That's right. Cody Rhodes, your champion, is nothing more than my chauffeur. A slimy pickpocket who thinks just because he stole the blueprint he can run the kingdom. There's your why, Cody Rhodes. Because you, with that, disgusts me. You sat by my side for years and stole every secret you need to be undeniable, but you are still underwhelming. I tried to drill it into your egotistical skull. You have to be authentic because they can see through phony. You didn't listen, and it shows. You're too perfect. You're too polished. You're too rehearsed. You rely on lazy gimmicks like them singing your name over and over again to get by. Actually, you are just like the Pied Piper because all you've ever done is find a way to make a catchy tune trick these people into loving mediocrity. Strip away his music and entrance, there is not much to look at except a thick pinstripe suit. But you can walk me out here in silence and bet your last dollar I would body you before your first breath. Cody Rhodes does not look like me. He doesn't act like me, and he sure as hell doesn't work like me. But Cody Rhodes also, you don't look like you don't act like you, and you don't work like you, because after all these years, you are still afraid to show who you are. So what do we get instead? Cody gives us a generic mix of every superstar he's ever loved or TV show he's ever watched in some big confused blob. And it makes you look like a 16-year-old kid taking acting lessons who's still afraid of public speaking. You have showed me one thing, and the one thing you have showed me is someone mediocre wearing something meaningful nowadays is enough to trick these people. I have worked too damn hard.
John Cena, so they obviously heard the feedback of, that John Cena isn't going to go in on him to bury him. I mean, I think Cena could have gone further. I mean, I still think this was not whatever, but I mean, basically sort of said, like, hey, let's take all the things that the Cody haters say and that even some of the other people say about Cody. And, that's what Cena said here. It was a long promo to open this show. I mean, these guys are out there for, 30 minutes? Almost? 25 minutes? Yeah, 25 minutes. 25 minutes. And you know what's weird is I think Cody raised his level a little bit, for his promo, his version of it. His response was pretty good. It wasn't better than John Cena's, I don't think, but neither one was amazing either. So I think Cody Rhodes whatever Cody Rhodes said was fairly forgettable. I don't really remember what he said. But interesting. Also, I've been complaining about, the fact that Pat McAfee kind of sounds like Shane McMahon as a color commentator on commentary, and that it's something about it is just off in whatever capacity. And today we got 3 commentators at the table. 3 commentators. Let's hear a little bit. We got 3 commentators at the table today. It's almost like they were like, yeah, we hear you. Okay. Here you go.
Yeah. Cody gives us a generic mix of every superstar he's ever loved or TV show he's ever watched.
Well, where's the Star Trek then, Cena? Where's the Star Trek?
Can you say the same, John Cena? Or was it one guy in an office who chose you who's not here anymore and we don't talk about it? Oh yeah, let's go ahead. Strip everything away from me, right? I don't know who I am. Who the hell knows who they are? I know this. I'm Cody Rhodes. I'm a wrestler like my father before me. And if anybody is a company creation, it's you, John Cena, and not me. Gosh, everyone's so terrified of you on the mic. I'm not, because I know you've got more dick in that promo than you do in your jorts. You want to make fun of me for appearing like I'm 16 taking public speaking lessons? Well, you're the one who hangs out with Zac Efron and wishes he was 16. And what a softball Thank you, John. What a softball you've thrown me by saying you created all of this. You created me. Here's what you created, pal. You created a lot of disenfranchised fans who made it easy for me to pack up and go elsewhere and say, hey, look at me. Don't act like you cleaned up your room before you left and went to Hollywood, John. Don't act like you left WWE better than you found it. And while we're at it, there are two of us standing in this ring right now. And what I'm about to ask you might punch a giant hole in all that logic that you just threw up. And it's quite simple. Between you and I, which one of us sold out to The Rock?
So, these are things that we kind of asked for, that we got for the most part. The show really felt long today. I was able to actually watch most of the show today. I haven't been able to watch all the shows the last couple of days because, it's instead of Raw being on at night, it's on in the day. And of course, I've had, appointments and interviews and things. So I've been really busy. And some of the other, days that were 3 o'clock was hard to watch anything. I saw this whole thing today, though. And, I just felt the show felt like it was really long. It felt unnecessarily long today. And yet, it's still ending a half an hour earlier than Raw used to end. And yet it felt like a 3.5 hour Raw. I don't know if anybody else felt that way, but man, I felt like it was a 3.5 hour freaking show tonight. And I said that Io Sky and Rhea Ripley were going to get counted out. I believe the other day I said it was going to be a count out. They were both going to try to get back to the ring, and Bianca Belair was just going to count to 10 before they got there, and they got counted out, and so they're going to turn it into a triple threat match. We all know it's going to be turned into a triple threat match. But instead what happened is, something very similar to that. Almost the same thing. So we got pretty much, exactly what we thought there. I mean, it's very predictable. So, to have that be the climax of the show, I thought was kind of a bummer because, we knew we were going to get that type of an ending. And so then we got that type of an ending, and it was just like, okay, well, no resolution, very predicted ending. I really didn't care for that. So that was kind of that was crappy as well. Joe, you sound under the weather. Well, I was sick all last week. I mean, if you watched this show last week, I looked terrible on this show last week. I got sick last Sunday. And I don't know I don't exactly know what it is, but my son was sick, and then I got it, and now Leah has it, so it's got to be a sickness. I thought maybe it was my stress from everything, but, I'm not sure. So we'll see. I don't really even have the fight in me to talk about, to do anything right still. I'm like basically drained of energy daily. Which has been kind of hard because, I don't even want to get into it. I'm not even going to get into it, but I don't want to talk about my life at all anymore because every day I've been living it. Maybe I'm dying from stress and that I have no, maybe something's wrong with me. I don't know. But something feels wrong, I'll tell you that. So if I drop dead tomorrow, I'd be like, yep, that's about right, Nothing is good. Everything is really bad. And it seemingly is getting worse. And then on top of it, I've been sick for 10 days now. We can only hope it's terminal. Shit bum.
Gunther's WHC is a paper title. I said what I said.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say that I really think what they executed with Jimmy and Jey Uso with Gunther was really good. That had to be a real cut. I mean, how he was bleeding everywhere. They say they don't do that anymore, but clearly, I mean, they have to. You know, I thought that was really well executed. I think, I don't care about it. It's weird. I don't care about Gunther really, and Jay and Jimmy Uso. I don't care about them. I really don't care that much about Jey Uso or the Yeet stuff. I don't care. I think Gunther's all right as a champion. He's been all right, but I don't particularly care for it that much, and so whatever. But as far as trying to pretend I don't not hate it, or like trying to pretend that let me just watch this for a segment and see what I think. I think it was really, really good and well done. But I just don't care that much about their whole thing. But I think what they did tonight was fun. Gunther was eating blood just like the AEW guys. It's weird. It's like there's a bunch of vampires. There's a whole bunch of vampires in wrestling apparently. Gunther's licking the blood off Jey Uso. I mean, there's just hepatitis is running wild. But yeah, the way they played that was good enough. They tried to make it matter. Yeah, I think they did a pretty good job of trying to make it better and make it matter and make it more than, what it's been. So, good on them for that. I don't think these are great numbers because we're getting some of the most negativity we've gotten here. If you look at this poll, I mean, blah being 32%, plus 10 is 42, plus 6 is 48. We got a 50-50 score here. 107 votes. I mean, this has got to be one of the worst ratings for a WWE thing in a while. This is one of the worst ratings in a while. So I think today's show, this whole Europe thing has really put the brakes on some of this momentum in a way, but not because Europe or where they are is so terrible or anything, but the way that WWE decided to book this. Um, 50-50. Prior to this, WWE polled around 78% thumbs up. It's a small sample size, but it's notable. When you look at it, it's notable. The shows do go back to 8 now. I think this was the last one. I don't think SmackDown is 3:00 this week. I think SmackDown's back to normal too, right? I don't know about that 100%, but I do think that's what I remember seeing. I don't know. What should happen to people who block the highway to protest? What should happen is they get run over. Man, I can only imagine. I would just drive, I think. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to really psych myself up. Look at this tweet by Mark Henry. He said his would have had The Undertaker and Andre the Giant on it. I'm assuming that's in place of Hulk Hogan and Roman Reigns. Yeah, I would never. I'm sorry to Roman Reigns, but I would never put Roman Reigns on a Mount Rushmore. I mean, no offense to Roman Reigns. You know what I mean? I don't have Bret Hart on my Mount Rushmore, but he would be above Roman Reigns. And so wouldn't Shawn Michaels. So, you know, I don't know. You know, Stone Cold Steve Austin is the biggest star in the shortest time I think we'll ever see in wrestling. You know, I think Goldberg comes close in some aspects of that, but Stone Cold Steve Austin is absolutely the biggest star, biggest legend in the smallest time frame in wrestling history, probably. I mean, you could say like what rivals it, I don't know, maybe Daniel Bryan for like 1 year or 2 years, but it doesn't rival what Stone Cold. Nobody really does. Like Hulk Hogan at his absolute tip top of the day, you know, I might argue Stone Cold would be more, maybe potentially maybe more over, but Hogan did it for like 10 years. You know, Cena did it with a mixed bag for over 10 years. So there's some interesting characters here, and you can put Undertaker on there for longevity of being a legend. I don't know. But I hate those. I hate Mount Rushmore things. I don't like those. I'd rather just try to rank people, but it's hard because the categories are different and context matters. So it's Mark Henry was tweeting that Dave LaGreca said that. So that was not Mark Henry's list. Mark Henry's list had The Undertaker, he said, and you know, MJF tweeted out about WWE. I truly don't get why fans get up in arms when WWE mentions or references AEW, or when AEW mentions or references WWE. If you want to be treated like children, watch Elmo. Or better yet, tell Vincent Kennedy McMahon to start a new promotion. Oh, man. Yeah, please get Vince to start a new one. Because maybe he'll hire me to be the commentator. I'd like to be there. I'd like to be there.
I work with children.
In case it doesn't work out here, you could always go back. Oh, never mind. We both know you burnt every bridge, don't we?
Flying at each other. Oh, and he sees the aftermath of what happened.
Likes what he sees, apparently no love lost.
Got booed in a company I created.
I make empires for billionaires. All you've ever done is steal money from their kids.
I like that.
Empires for billionaires. Make empires for billionaires. All you've ever done is steal money from their kids.
Wow. Shots between AEW and WWE. Gotta love it. You gotta love it. Mario Rodriguez. Thank you for the donation of $2. Mario Rodriguez. Live at a weird time of the day today. You know, I've been sick for 10 days, I think. Still rolling. Context counts, yeah. See, that's hard. It's hard to contextualize, you know, these guys. I think a lot of these legends are on a list of some sort, one or the other, right? Like Shawn Michaels and Bret are on the list of like some of the best in-ring wrestlers ever of our times, legends. You know, they both got really good music, great look, great charisma, and great in-ring skills. And I like their promos. But, you know, they just weren't that A-plus mega box office Stone Cold Hulk Hogan, John Cena, but they were top guys, top draw. They did draw, you know, a good amount. But they weren't that mega, you know, transitional type of, you know, thing. Like, I mean, you know, Bret Hart got a little bit into the mainstream for a second, a little bit, but not really, you know. It was hard to explain Bret Hart to people in the mainstream, like this wrestler, and he wears pink and black and the shades. Like, people didn't, they were like, what? You know, Shawn Michaels tried explaining that back to mainstream people. You're like, yeah, he's the boy toy. He's the sexy boy. He's the heartbreak kid. You know, people looked at you like you were nuts. You know, they were like, what? But you said Hulk Hogan. They were like, oh, yeah, Hulk Hogan, the big wrestler guy. Yeah, we know who that is. You know, even Macho Man. Yeah, kind of, you know, I've seen that guy. He's crazy kind of or something. You know, Hulk Hogan, you know, Macho Man. Stone Cold Steve Austin during the late 90s. I think just about everybody knew who he was. You know, even if I went to like the middle school girls knitting group, you know what I mean? I could hold up a picture of like Stone Cold. They'd be like, "Oh, that's the Stone guy or the wrestler guy. I see him." You know, they knew that. You know, if I held up, you know, other people, they'd just be like, "What is that? I don't know what that is." So, yeah, they thought Shawn Michaels was a male stripper, which that's okay for the girls too. What's up, John? What's up, Bill? How you doing, man? All right. Well, if you want a super chat, super chats are on. Memberships are on. Streamlabs is pinned to the top of the channel as we speak. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. Is it not pinned? I thought I pinned it. I'll pin it. I thought I did pin it. Am I crazy? Is it not pinned? Am I stupid? Let me put it up there. There's the dono link. If I didn't pin it, I'm not sure. Maybe I did. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. I don't know how much I'll be around all week with everything going on. I'm trying my best, but I'll try. All we got was just a promo that was good. Nothing else. 4 out of 10 says Snake Plissken. Yeah, I mean, they let John Cena kind of go in a little bit. Well, I mean, he went in a little bit like we all talked about. Like, they're softballing it. What are they doing? And Cena basically did that promo. Like, I'm not going to take it easy on you. You know, that's basically what they did. And then, you know, Cody Rhodes' response was pretty good. But, you know, I don't think Cena, like, buried him. And it was, like, the end of Cody because of what happened out there. It just felt like John Cena put on a more personal to Cody Rhodes promo, which I like. And then Cody responded pretty well. And the big thing is that we got physicality, because I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't remember if this is true or not, but did I not say something this past week or two about, like, if they touch each other before WrestleMania, like, I'll blow myself live on air or something? Didn't I say something like that? Like, there's no way these two guys even touch until WrestleMania because they're trying to save that for sure. Like, I went on some crazy rant, I think it was last Monday, about how they're not going to touch, they're staying away from that. So if you're waiting for that to happen, it ain't going to happen. Absolutely no, it's not going to happen. And Cody Rhodes crossroads John Cena today. So I just want to call myself out because, you know, sometimes I do a lot of like, I told you so. And that's, I know, super kind of cringy when somebody is like that. And I tend to sometimes do that. But boy, was I wrong. You know what I mean? I was very wrong about that. And I did not expect that. So they took it a step further with Cena's promo. And they took it a step further with the physicality happening. I didn't expect that. So that happened as well. And then, you know, in the main event, we got exactly what we thought we were going to get, which was Rhea Ripley, you know, getting a double disqualification. I said it'd be a double count out. It wasn't a double count out, but it was close. I mean, we all knew, at least I think we all knew, because I said it last week, that, hey, they're going to count them, you know, there's going to be a double count out, double DQ, whatever. The bottom line is it's going to lead to triple threat. We all know this. And that's what I saw happen tonight. I think we all saw that. And so therefore, I was watching this main event thinking like, well, what, you know, how are they going to surprise me? And they didn't. I mean, other than what Bianca Belair looked like in that referee outfit, there was nothing really to watch. You know, 20 minutes of a wasted time. You know what? You know what I would like? I wish wrestling was like this. I wish I could say, here's what's going to happen. And then if I get 98% correct, right? Like there's it's going to be nothing, da-da-da. They're going to be whatever. The referee's going to go down. And then at the very end, either way, they're going to get disqualified or double count out or whatever. So there's no real result. So other than there's no result that changes what goes on. So it's a waste of time match. I would like to say that into the world, into the atmosphere. And then the wrestling gods come back and tell me, wow, Joe, 98% correct. No need to watch that match. And then I'd be like, oh, okay, I can go right to the review and just skip that because it's so obvious. I know when people are here. I like John Cena's red and blue, though. He looks like a big toothpaste. I mean, yeah, you could say he looks like a red, white, and blue thing or like the New York Rangers or something like that, but I think Cena kind of looks like Colgate or something like that, like a toothpaste. Did Cena mention The Rock or no again? Not really. They mentioned giving the soul to The Rock, but that was it. There was no other mention of what that could mean or whatever. That's really disappointed me. It feels like that is a completely forgotten about story. And I don't know if that's because I don't know what that is. I have no idea. But it feels slightly disappointing that this sort of, it's like a bait and switch. Like John Cena turns heel and he's bad and he sold his soul to The Rock. And now it's become more about like personal, like I'm John Cena and I'm upset, and now it's personal, like The Rock doesn't even exist anymore. They're almost treating it like The Rock doesn't exist. It kind of reminds me of like the new Star Wars movies where it's like, okay, we just who's Rey's parents? Like, oh, who cares about that anymore? Forget that. It's nobody. You know, oh, The Rock, you know, is controlling Cena and the Cena's soul and whatever that is, and what does that mean? Oh, well, no, don't worry about that. John Cena's doing this on his own. Okay. Which is all right. It's just I feel like you've set this other expectation that I thought I had in my head for what could be going on here, let alone all the other people who are way out there with all these like voodoo ideas and things. And, you know, so they're probably disappointed. to be honest. They're probably the ones that are like, what the hell's going on? Or bored, maybe bored by it. I don't know. But what I do know is the poll is one of the worst polls we've had in a while for WWE. Like, this is the worst poll I've put up of 2025, I think. You know, like the polls previous have been in the 80% and 90%, and to be in the, 50-50 or 60 even, whatever it is, is very interesting. You know? I don't know what you just sent me, Mike, but I don't know. It's like not forming or whatever. It's not like, it's like 1998. It's like you sent me. It's like you just sent me a giant photo on AIM, and it's 1998, and I'm in a chat room on my computer with a bunch of friends, and the photo is like slowly downloading but not finishing the download. Wow, bro, it's 1998 dial up with whatever you just sent me. That is so strange. It's so crazy that I just had nostalgia for AOL Instant Messenger. Wow, the photo is like not downloading. It's doing that pixelized thing, and then it just blanks out. That's crazy. But yeah, I'm sure once that thing forms itself, I'll take a look at it, whatever you sent me. Evo General says people forget AEW fans hated Cody when he left. Yeah. But I don't think people forget that. I mean, who's forgetting that, really? I think there's a lot of WWE people that didn't watch AEW and don't really know about that other than what people have said. So that's a big reason for it. I think the hype is still there, Brian. I don't think it's that bad, but there's just some missing pieces, you know what I'm saying? That I've gathered from this. If you guys want, Streamlabs is pinned to the top of the chat. If you want to donate, we'll put you up on the board. There's nobody on the board right now, so feel free to do anything you want, and I'll put you on the board. I don't see much else. I already talked about the Gunther stuff. I think Jimmy Uso needs to put down the fork. The guy looks like a fat whale. Jey Uso looks terrible. Gunther bloodied the hell out of him. I don't care about their match at all, to be honest. But, I mean, I think the segment tonight was executed very well, and I liked the blood, and it looked pretty awesome. But I don't particularly... I didn't care for it. And again, the very end of the night, the main event was predictable. We predicted exactly almost what happened, so that was stupid. Haystacks Monet, thank you for the membership gift. Vince Russo addressed Jim Cornette for the last time, guys. So look out, Vince Russo addressing Cornette. Come on out, you rapist! For the very last time. I can't wait to hear this. Evo General became a member because of Haystacks Monet. Thank you, Haystacks. Let's listen.
As I talk about Jim Cornette and Jim saying I was fired 3 times, am I mad? Am I upset? Am I cutting a promo on Jim Cornette? I absolutely am not, because this has been going on since 1999. You know, bro, this is like a stand-up comic doing the same routine for 26 years. It's like take Dice. It's like Dice starts his act at 25 years old. At 51 years old, it's the same exact act. He's doing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
He's telling the same exact jokes, same exact nursery rhymes, and he's been doing it for 26 years.
Wow. Russo's cutting into Cornette. Cutting into Cornette, baby. Let me jump into Discord because Luke Rojas is there. Guys, if you want to support the channel, man, we need your support on the show. We got to show the other bitches that we got balls here on this show. All right? We need to fund. Listen, I've got a side business going where we have a militia and we go to Tesla's places. We need to fund this thing, okay? So Streamlabs is pinned to the top of your chat right now. God damn it. If you like this show and you like what we do, God damn it, say something in that Streamlabs pinned link on the top of the chat. Okay? Don't sit back and just let it just all go by and fade away and die. Fund this show so that we can commit terror on the country. All right, let's go to Luke Rojas. Hello, sir. Oh, I didn't mean to mute you.
It's okay, dude.
Okay.
Let me tell you, this show tonight or today, whatever the fuck timing it was definitely better than the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
I just don't know why we had to wait 2 weeks before we got the with that promo of Cena and Cody. I mean, that should have been like first night Cena came out.
Well, it's weird. It's like I think they just wanted the first night to be about him and the fans and how, like, what he's feeling about them. So I mean, I will say that it was about him and the fans, and then they kind of introduced Cody more in the second week, and this week it was all about mostly Cody. So
yeah, I mean, we got some back and forth promos, like fucking bombs thrown at each other. I think Cena definitely caught a pretty good promo on Cody. And, it wasn't a complete burial, though, because I think Cody had a few good lines as well. But definitely Cena won that exchange.
Yeah.
They realized that people did not like the Randy Orton segment where Randy Orton was, like, weirdly putting over Cody and like, telling him how awesome he is. And, like, that felt like a 2015 Roman Reigns thing to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was weird. That sucked.
Mm-hmm. And also just Randy caught a terrible promo. It was just so bad. Like, you did a lot of things. You did so many crazy things. I can't even remember. I bet because now I want a shot though.
Yeah, I'll just go out there and wing it, guys. I'm Randy Orton.
And like Randy isn't like the best promo guy. He's not the worst either. But I mean, when you have no idea what you're supposed to be saying besides make Cody sound really cool, man. You're like, all right, what did he do? He wrestled with a peck. Remember the peck thing,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm eating the fuck out of a sandwich right now.
Yeah, it really wasn't, or I've never really liked Orton's promos that much. I mean, so it's nothing I can really ever remember him saying. So what are you going to do with that? And then when the guy was like, and he's never that good. To be honest, he's never that great when he's a good guy. When he's a face.
No, he
sounds.
Everybody knows. Everybody says his best time is like 2007 to 2009 when he was the top heel.
Dude, because when he has to say really nice things to people, it's like he's acting, and it sounds terrible. But when he says bad things, he's good at that. But when he has to like be the good guy or be the rah guy, it sounds fake because that's not who he is.
Well, he has and I'm not saying he is Stone Cold. But I'm saying he has a similar vibe to Stone Cold, where he's the guy who comes in, RKOs someone, people go crazy. And that should be his character as a baby face,
Yeah.
He shouldn't be the Mr. Nice guy who comes out and talks about how he loves Cody and stuff like that. Which, they have done a good job with portraying him as kind of that badass baby face role, but it seems like they weirdly made him put over Cody for like no reason at all. It didn't need to happen. I'm not excited for the next few weeks of the Cody and John Cena feud if Cena's really not going to be here.
Yeah, he was not going to be here. He's been here 3 weeks in a row. He's gone. till the week before Mania. I think he comes back once. That's it.
I think that's lame as fuck, bro.
Yeah. Well, and you did the same thing with him 3 times almost.
Exactly, and nothing really was learned, except that we now kind of know why Cena went after Cody the way he did. I thought he was going to go the route of what I did to Cody was nothing personal. In fact, I feel bad for Cody because he's exactly what I was before the fans ruined me or whatever, something like that. But they took it in a different direction.
They're laying the road work, unfortunately, for Cena to be like, I had to do that to help you or whatever. Like, and he doesn't, and he really.
Oh, yeah. That's probably what's, oh my God. If that happens, that's going to be so fucking lame.
Yeah.
And then they just don't acknowledge the Rock stuff.
Yeah, basically just, Cena was like, I needed to push you to that level, to get your best and to get you there. And I had to see if I could do it on my own without the fans, so I attacked the fans and everything. Like, it's like the road work is being laid for that. And the whole Rock thing is almost out the window.
Well, what they could do.
Like you're being run over by a washer machine or something.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay, I mean it's fine. You're fine. It's not gonna go away. It's just funny.
Duncachino?
Oh,
Don't mind if I do.
You do sound better now. Evo General or somebody is donating $11.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
You the man.
You the man. Oh yeah. Well, you the fucking hunky. Thank you, Evo General. Thank you, Evo General. I always think of that George Carlin thing. When he's talking about like, yeah, I can't stand people like that. Oh yeah, you go girl, you the man. Yeah, well you the fucking hunky. Like, I don't know. Evo General. Thank you, bro. You go girl should probably just go. These cutesy phrases. I can't stand these cutesy phrases. You the man.
Well, now it'd be Queen and King. Like, what do you rule England?
Unbelievable what he would be talking about nowadays. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. All right.
Dude, fucking unbelievable, bro. He'd totally go after the SJWs, bro.
He'd probably go after everybody.
Dude, everybody. I fucking hate it when they would be like, dude, Carlin definitely would have voted for Trump, bro.
I don't think so.
They have to weirdly put their own political ideology like on a dead comic. Like they do it with Patrice all the time. They're like, Patrice would love Trump. Like, you don't fucking know that, bro.
If you said Joe Biden, Donald Trump, or Bernie Sanders, George Carlin would vote for Bernie Sanders, probably. Of those three. If any of them, but probably more a Bernie guy. But I think he'd also be. He wouldn't be happy with either one of those guys.
I'm gonna say this for the getting back to wrestling. I'll say this: the Gunther and Jey Uso stuff. It is tired, but I think they did a good job of as much as they possibly can shaking it up. And I did like Michael Cole kind of getting pissed off at Gunther. So I thought, I thought that was because everything else they've been doing has been so like tired and lazy that at least this was like a little bit something different. Like, okay, now he's beating up his brother, and now Jey Uso is like, defenseless to stop him. We've seen it before, but it's something different than brawl and they pull apart brawl and then they pull them apart and that's it. I don't know. Not that I'm still excited for the match because I'm really not, but I just thought tonight was a little bit better paced and better. And I keep wanting to say tonight. It's this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because it's faking us out. It's crazy that it's only going to be 7:00 soon.
Yeah, and I still have fucking 3 hours of work left. God damn. No, 3.5 hours.
Right.
Fuck.
Yeah, people are still at work. They missed this. They forgot it was on. That's the other thing. Like I said, like people aren't even watching this. They're forgetting it's on, which is crazy.
Well, now you know what we've got to go through every single fucking week. Yeah, well, I don't care about you. I'm going to be honest with you. WWE's main audience, probably from America. You fucks.
Right? Yeah, right.
Their main audience is being kind of what's it called? What's the word for it? Not isolated, but you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of being left out almost from the biggest season of the year. You know,
Yeah.
maybe that's why they made it so late.
Now the Americans are angry, and people in the UK are going to have to go back to whatever they had to do. They're going to have to go back to watching Doctor Who and beating their cat. Like, that's what's going to happen.
It's watching beating their cat. They're gonna have to go back to stabbing each other in the cheek.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not much to say about it. To me, this was, I mean, a very predictable show. Yeah, Jimmy Uso's getting fat is what I noticed. That's about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, they have to differentiate him and Jay somehow.
Yeah, they were like, listen, man, I know this sounds crazy, but we would actually be able to maybe pay you a little bit more money still. And if you could, just eat a couple extra hamburgers every day and get
just look a little bit worse than your brother in every way.
Try to look worse. Think Janetti,
But he is a better promo than Jay. Like,
yeah.
Jay, I mean, not significant, not like heads and shoulders better than him, but like,
Yeah, he's more serious. He's more serious, cuts into stuff where Jay Uso's kind of like, man, this is crazy, bro. And you're like, what?
Jimmy's more controlled, and he's like, let me tell you, we got this on lockdown. Me and you.
Yeah, exactly. And here's The Rock. Oh my God. Where the hell is The Rock? You gonna go back to work?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Peace out, Luke.
I love you.
Then The Rock.
Look at The Rock's eyeballs.
I can't get that horrible Mongoloid chant out my fucking head because of Rogers the other night. Cody Rhodes. Fucking hell.
Cody Rhodes. Like, I want to, dude, if I ever hear that, every time I hear that now, I want to rip my legs off and beat myself to death with my own legs. Blizz Kid, thank you for the $10 and becoming a $10 VIP, Blizz Kid, you beast of a human being. Let's, real quick, let me go back to I want to hear the rest of what Russo had to say really quickly because we kind of missed it. So let me just go back real quickly and then we'll get back to some more Raw, I think. Evo is the top dono, man. Thank you, Evo. Blizz Kid, thank you for that dono. And there's some news here too. So this is interesting, but let's just finish off what Russo was saying here before we went over to Rojas. I didn't want to miss him because I knew he was on break at work.
He's doing the same exact thing. He's telling the same exact jokes, same exact nursery rhymes, and he's been doing it for 26 years. So what happens after that 26 years? You just become very numb to it, and it just becomes very old, and it becomes very tired. Jim Cornette is very old and very tired to me. I do not think of Jim Cornette for a minute unless somebody brings him up in a chat. Oh, Vince, is it true? Were you fired from TNA 3 times? No, I wasn't fired from TNA 3 times. But it's the same old routine. It's the same old act. So when you've been listening to the same old act for 26 years, it becomes boring. It becomes tiresome. And you are no longer interested. I don't know if Jim Cornette thinks after 26 years he can say or do anything that's going to get a rise out of me or make me mad. Bro, I was over that a long time ago. And if I am going to respond to Cornette, I'm going to respond in a very calm, cool, and collected way, which quite frankly is going to expose him and it's going to make him look stupid. Because we're so past Jim Cornette pissing me off. It's really, with me, man, it's a feeling of, it just being pathetic and me really just feeling sorry for him.
And he basically, I guess described what Cornette does. I mean, listen, I have always liked Jim Cornette, and I've always listened to Jim Cornette more even than Russo, but as somebody who's been a victim of Jim Cornette's, opinions and burials, I can say that it's pretty much, I think, true, man. The guy formulates an opinion about you, and then he'll, even if he has to make something up about you or he doesn't know something about you, he'll just make it up and formulate some sort of opinion on you. And if it's wrong, it doesn't matter. He'll just keep going with that narrative. So, which, you could argue, do I do that? You could argue that, like, I've had a bad experience with someone or two, and some fans made fun of that person for something, and then maybe I continued to use that terminology about them for 10 years, so maybe it's something I've done too. Maybe it's something I do. Maybe that's why I like Jim Cornette so much, because it's sort of the playbook I would use, but I don't think so at the same time too, because, Vince Russo is willing to kind of sit down or talk to you or like maybe smooth over something. Whereas Jim Cornette is like, nah, man, fuck him. I fuck him up with a fucking, he like just doesn't ever, like Jim Cornette never wants anything to do with me ever again over the fact that, over nothing. Over the fact that Kenny Bolin told him some things that weren't true, and over the fact that I asked him to be on the show and I tweeted him too many times about it. And I guess I wrestled a teddy bear once or something. So, I don't know. So Cornette, yeah, he's not going to change. Cornette's in it for himself and his own thing, and everything else is, collateral damage. And I've been this. I could see that being the case. You're building up to a huge mania and you're overseas. Yeah, it is. This overseas thing is great for the WWE from a financial touring standpoint. It's been really good for that. No doubt about it. But it really does feel like it's the show's taking a hit for it creatively. And I can't help but think that. I've seen plenty of other people think that and say that. I know we're talking about that right now. So it's just weird. And I mean, but would the show have been the exact same thing though if they were just in America? Would it really have would a lot really have changed if they'd been in America? I mean, we wouldn't have gotten the Cody Rhodes. We wouldn't have gotten that probably. But other than that, is that a major issue? Is that a problem? I don't know. Overall, I'd say Monday Night Raw was a 5 out of 10, maybe worse. I guess, maybe Monday Night Raw was a 4 or 5. This is one of the worst Raws that I've experienced in a while because I just didn't care too much. The opening segment was the best one, but we keep seeing it week after week after week. we already talked about all the different things we got out of it. So, if you're somebody out there disagreeing with me and saying, well, there was way different, or it was different, you don't understand. No, I understand. We broke down all the different aspects of the promo at the beginning and how good it was and whatever. But then just nothing else really hit for me. I mean, there was some nice wrestling for the most part. I think the New Day had one of their better segments in a while. The match they had, I thought, was good. I thought the way that they presented themselves was good. The New Day has been really a forgotten about heel team that really didn't get, I think, what it really should have gotten for a push of this heel team. I think everything the New Day has been doing has not been good enough. But I do think they looked good tonight as this heel team. So that I will say about that, I guess. And the crowd liked the match. I'm not thrilled with the commentary, although they did put 3 commentators on commentary after I was literally mentioning that last couple weeks. Maybe you need a third guy in there because Pat McAfee is kind of like a fun yelling guy, but he doesn't, there's something missing. But I don't think it helped much. So, in the end, I just think we have the wrong people on commentary still. I think that Michael Cole and Pat McAfee are pretty good, but man, maybe I'll never be happy. I don't know. Maybe other people, but there was a lot of little good segments tonight. There really were. Like, the opening segment was good, and I really thought it was pretty good. The Gunther and Jey Uso stuff, again, I thought was really a good executed segment, although I don't care for it. And, it is what it is. And I'll give it a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10 Raw. It's my worst score in a while. And I think that a lot of people are kind of down on it. And this is, it's whatever. But anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for hitting that like button. Thanks for being in the chat. And thanks for being here. And I will see you possibly tomorrow night. Watch more of my videos, I guess. And check out patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. The Wyatt family is probably on a plane somewhere. Yeah.